other side of the camera.
There you go. You're going to fire off the questions today, right?
No, I'm just going to miss free runs. I'm too veteran for that.
I hear you. Okay, Monday. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our weekly news conference sponsored by Georgia Power. Today, as you can see, we're going to concentrate on our basketball programs, men's and women's basketball. But just before we do, Coach Jacobs is in the house. Of course, football was announced and have earned the number 6 seed in the country. They've got a bye this week, and they'll be at home next week to play the winner of Drake in South Dakota. That game will be at 12 o'clock next week, and we'll be back to Coach Jacobs and football at next week's news conference. All right, let's go to basketball. Exciting times for men's and women's basketball. I think the men have practice coming up, so if it's okay, we're going to start with them. 3-2 in the season, coming off an impressive 95-83 win at Eastern Kentucky on Saturday. This week the Bears host Appalachian State on Wednesday at 2, and they'll travel to Elon on Saturday at 4 p.m. One footnote before we bring Coach Ritter up. Congratulations to his dad, Steve, who's been the head coach at Embry-Riddle for 36 seasons. He accomplished his 800th win last week, and with that, he's in the top 35 on all-time collegiate men's basketball career win list. So, Coach, congratulations to the other Coach Ritter. With that, let's bring in our coach, Brian Ritter.
Probably want to hear from the real Coach Ritter, I guess. 800 wins. Got a couple more to go from there, but man, the Bears, we had a good week. You know, obviously getting back from the road Saturday night late. Played a really good Eastern Kentucky team in their building. I think they're preseason 1 or 2 in the A-Sun this year, and you know they've got a chance to win a lot of games in that arena. You know, last 4, 5, 6 years since AW's been there, they hadn't lost a lot of games at home, and so for us to come out and not just win, I think the way we won, really physically dominated them for 40 minutes, and I think we ended up winning 95-83. But I think through the course of the game, we did a nice job managing and controlling the way we wanted to play. And I thought that was really big for our guys. Early on in the season, you're going to face a lot of different tests. With so many teams have so many different new guys, 10, 11, 12 guys, whatever we got. We had our first real humbling experience 2 weeks ago at Winthrop. Didn't play well. Just didn't have a good Saturday, point blank, and they were better than us. And thought our guys really locked in Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday in preparation for EKU. And fortunate for us, we came out, made a bunch of shots Saturday. But I think we were tied in, we were tough, we were together, and obviously that's how you find a way to beat a really good mid-major team on the road. So encouraged, every day by this group. I think these guys will tell you, we go in the locker room, we go on the court. They've been consistent in their work habits every day, and it's always feels good to see that, play out into a win, especially on the road. But I think with this group now, obviously having some success on the road, beating a really good team, we got a quick turnaround. We got a very, very good App State team coming in Wednesday. We're going to go on the road at Elon, come back here next week against Georgia State. So we've got 3 games in a small amount of time, and we've got to find a way to grow from a Saturday victory. How do we respond to I guess a nice result? How do we respond to Monday, Tuesday? We've got to find a way to get better, and obviously there's areas that we've got to target. Although I thought we played well Saturday, I think our first shot defense was really good. Thought we shot the ball offensively. Thought we were really good on that side, but there was one area that I think we've got to continue to grow and get better, and that's just defensive rebounding. And we got to grow up quickly because the team that's coming in Wednesday, they're one of the best in the country at it. They go and get the basketball off the glass on both sides of the floor, and so it's going to be a test for our guys here these next 2 days. Who wants to come in, put their hard hat on, who wants to rebound. And I think when we can get that, along with our offense, our first shot defense, I think we're going to be a team that just continues to grow and grow. So really excited where this group is right now. Obviously, we want to go out and win every game, but I think you're seeing a group that's gelling. And again, we've got 3 tough games here this next week and a half, and really excited to see what this group how we respond to a win on Saturday. So with that, let's let you guys open up for any questions.
Coach, you have a week after the Winthrop game to prepare for Eastern Kentucky, and usually you're playing games 2 or 3 days at a time. Did that help after a tough loss like that to come back to your own gym, have some days to just prepare, have your practice, get get the results you want and then go out and prepare like that? That's how it kind of talks about that?
Yeah, I thought it was great to have a week of preparation. Honestly, we were just physically combative all week. Like I said earlier, put our hard hats on. We competed 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5. We were bone on bone, and just realized that, hey, no matter what we want to do offensively or defensively or strategically or details, we're going to get that mentality. And I didn't think we had that mentality Saturday at Winthrop, and obviously, I didn't do a very good job preparing that. But I think the preparation after that, the response has been tremendous. These guys didn't complain. They didn't sulk about it. They got up Monday and they cracked each other. I mean, we got after each other, and it was physical and it was fun. And I think they'll be the first to say that, hey, Saturday was a result of the way we prepared in preparation for EKU.
I know you said you wanted to improve on the most was defensive rebounding in general, but how big has Almighty been in the paint so far this season? We talked about him highly in the first week of the season, but I'm sure he's been really helpful for you guys throughout the
Yeah, he's a dominant force. I mean, I think we all feel as good as anybody when he's in the game. I think we've got as good of interior as definitely anybody at our level. He's got great hands. He's got great presence. He rebounds the basketball. He's intelligent. He does a lot of things for us, and I think when we get fully healthy, I think we'll feel really good about our interior. But it's not just. I think sometimes maybe we've been just counting on him to go up and grab the rebound because he can go up and high point it. But I think collectively, to be a really, really good team, and I think our guards will be the first to tell you they're going to do a heck of a lot better job rebounding the basketball moving forward.
And also, it seems like your guard play has been really great at just shooting the ball. You've got Brock, you've got Brady, but even someone that's made a huge impact, obviously, Kyle Cup as well, almost like a wild card off the bench. How big is that to have somebody that can just step up in any situation and just be kind of like an extra spark for you guys?
Yeah, I was just telling the guards this morning, we watched film, and I think we've got 4 or 5 guards that, at our level, we've got as good a guard play as, really I've ever coached, and definitely as good as to offer in our league. And I think, the guy that's up here with us today, starts with him. He's an elite leader. He's got a great IQ. He doesn't get rattled. He leads. The guys love playing with him. And I think that's contagious. I think there's a reason that some of our other guys are stepping up their game. When you get out there and you play with confidence and you're being held to a standard, I love the way our guards are playing. I think you can throw any 4 or 5 of those guys in at any different time, and we got trust and faith that they can put the ball in the bucket and they can make plays for themselves and each other.
And Rick talked about your dad, Steve, obviously a historic marker of 800 wins, but you guys, how often you guys compare notes, talk shop? What's something he's taught you this year, even as of late, to just become a better coach?
I think, it's a great question. I get asked that a lot. And, my dad's been at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University for 35 plus years. And so the thing that we are very similar on is, we build genuine relationships. We build programs from the ground up. The foundations of why we coach and how we coach, we're talking about those every day. I talked to him on the way to work this morning. But the actual X's and O's, we've just been significantly different. We've been at different spots. And I think you got to find your niche on how you're going to win at each spot. But in terms of the pillars, the foundation, those are things that are evolving every day. And so I was laughing, he won his 800th game Saturday, and he watched the first half of our game, then he had to go into his. And I said, I guarantee you my dad couldn't even enjoy his win because he didn't know if we had won or not. So right after the game, I'm calling him, man, congrats, 800. He goes, yeah, but man, how about your game? I'm like, Dad, we won a random game on a Saturday in November. You got 800. And he's like, yeah, but what about Baraka, man? He's like, what about? I'm like, dude, just say thanks, man. I really enjoyed my 800th win. But I think that tells you a little bit about our conversations are really more about program stuff necessarily than basketball X and O.
And I bet it's kind of special because you were an assistant of your dad at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously that's been the foundation of so many things that I've done coaching wise, and it's great to have someone that's still actively in the profession, and he's running his own program, but it's great to, hey, Dad, what do you think about this situation, or whatever it may be.
So I know it was a couple weeks ago, but you did celebrate your birthday. I'm just curious, what's something that you do away from, the basketball court, the gym, anything like that? What's something that you're doing throughout the week that just kind of gets you ready for a game day, for practice, or something like that? And spend time with your family? Is it just some crazy hobby that you've got outside of work, something like that?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. At this point in the year, it's basketball, and then when I get a chance to be around family, I mean that's pretty much all you got time for right now. I've got 3 little girls and beautiful wife, so when I get a chance to be with them, I'll try to be with them. And although recently, Steele's in here, man, we did start playing noon ball. Our staff's got some former hoopers, and I say former in the nicest way because if you came out there today, not real high level, but we've been playing pickup once a week. So Baraka's been in there. What am I now, about combined 3 of 40 from 3? Yeah, but I'm getting them up though. No, I love being with family, man. I love being a family, and try to be active when we can.
Are you trying to channel Michael Porter Jr. with your shot selection?
Here's what I think. Every part of my life, try to be a winner, and I've been so unselfish in the way I played basketball. As a passer, I was a defender, and for the first time in my life, I just get to go grab the ball and I get to shoot it whenever I want, and it feels great. It's something different that I've never been able to do. So I think two open gyms. I think I've shot 33s. So it's been a unique feeling for me.
So another video that I saw on Mercer social media pages, everyone's going around sharing their top 3 Thanksgiving dishes. It's Thanksgiving this week. Did you put green bean casserole?
Green bean casserole.
Top 3?
Yeah, big casserole guy apparently. I didn't know. But yeah, green bean casserole, sweet potatoes, mac and cheese, big ham guy.
You go ham over turkey?
Ham over turkey all day. Yeah.
Christian talks about how in practice you were excited to see the response from your team after the Woodford game. What was it like, I guess, in game, seeing everything kind of click and win February? What was that like for you?
Well, I think obviously it feels good, right? You're winning the game, but I think honestly the basketball season is so long. You November, December, January, February, March, and if you're emotional about every play, about every game, about every decision, then you're going to live in a world of chaos. Fortunately, this is my 18th year doing it, and you can't live and die by every result. With great respect to Coach Jacobs, if he loses a game on a Saturday, that could alter his season. The reality is we're going to play 31 games, and our job is to build up for those 3 games in March. And so we want to win every game. That's why we put on the jersey. That's why we strap it up. But the reality is early on, you're going to lose 1 or 2. You're going to win 1 or 2 that maybe you shouldn't, and you've got to have the ability to turn the page and move to the next one, or else you're not going to get better throughout that preparation.
Yeah, then obviously very different from last week where you had a nice break in between the bigger games out. And now, like you said, you got 3 games pretty quickly. What is it going to be like for you guys to kind of prepare for each opponent and just get back on the court each and every time?
Yeah, it's still, the majority of preparation this time of the year is still on us. Again, I got great respect for Dustin Kearns for App State, but we're going to play them once, and then that's going to be over. So if we're not spending the majority of time on us, because at the end of the day, when that game ends Wednesday, we'll never see them again, but I'm going to see this guy for the rest of the year. We got to make sure that we're preparing ourselves for what's best. So, we're still at 75-80% of preparation on us, and then we'll deal with App when they come here. We'll have a great game plan, but it's still the majority of time spent on us.
Coach, if you'll stand right there, I'm going to ask you to introduce your player. You know as much about him as anybody. I'll tell you one other thing about this guy and the energy he brings to practice. One of the first road trips last year, guys take the floor, and before they start doing anything, this guy grabs the rim, does a backward flip, lands on the floor. That's the kind of energy he brings to practice. Just know that. Yeah. All right, Coach, introduce your point guard.
All right, a point guard, Baraka Okojie, and I think I've said this, and I mean this in the truest form. One of the best leaders, one of the best people, high IQ, guys gravitate to him. And I think when you're a point guard, you're determined by a lot of things. This dude is the epitome of a winner. And I think when you see this team really take off, it's going to be because he's got a major impact of what we're doing. So, Baraka Okojie.
Baraka, come on up and tell us a little bit about yourself. So, a little bit where you played previously and about your coming to Mercer and how the season's going this far.
Baraka Okojie from Toronto, Canada, Brampton, Ontario, close to Toronto, about 30 minutes away. Junior, last year I was at Memphis. Year before that, my freshman year, I was at George Mason, so a little traveled. I've been able to learn and take different lessons from different places and things like that. So obviously now here at Mercer, I came, Coach was recruiting me out of high school when he was at UT Martin. He actually coached my high school coach. And his brother Reed was a AU teammate with my high school coach. So, that connection has been there for a little while. And then just being able to reach out. He reached out in the portal this year and just gave me the opportunity to come be free, be myself. And just that family aspect of he believes in what I can do and what we can do as a team this year. And me being at the focal point of that. So that's the biggest thing I can say about Coach Ritter and just the opportunity this year. Obviously started out this year 3-2. Want to be 5-0, obviously, but I mean, it is what it is. We had a good win this past Saturday. You know, we had a bad taste in our mouth coming from Winthrop. You know, we all knew we can play better and we're a better basketball team than that. So just being able to come in for a week, like Coach said, and just being more focused on us than anything else, I feel like that was the biggest thing. And being able to go and just play our brand of basketball, physicality, defense, making shots, and just being free, playing free, being free out there. That was the biggest thing for us this week, and I feel like it showed on the court. I think we won by 11. I think we won by 11 points, but personally, I feel like we beat them by 20. We're just a much better team that day. So that's the way I feel. But is there anything else I missed to talk on? That's good. Okay.
Baraka, I want to go back to where your career started, George Mason. As a former A10 basketball writer myself, I'm just curious. You go from a league where defense really dominates to now you're just playing, you kind of mentioned, fast and free basketball. Mm-hmm. How big is that transition? I know you kind of got a taste of that at Memphis, but now just is that hard for you to adjust to? And you like that style of play? Just kind of walk me through that.
I mean, through the course of the season, you got to play different teams and different styles to kind of win different type of games. So although the A10 is a big defensive type of league, and obviously George Mason under skin, he preached defense a lot. You know, we had to adjust throughout my freshman year, and even last year we played many different teams. We had to get up and down, whether it was mucking up the game on defense or whether it was slowing the game down on offense, and really executing. So I feel like my past two stops kind of allowed me to be able to adjust to whatever game plan we have or whatever type of team we're playing. So I would say, yeah, it's fun. Obviously, it's more fun to play offense than defense. Everybody would agree, but whatever it takes to win in terms of offense, defense, slow, fast, boring, or exciting, I feel like I'm used to it at this point.
And Coach kind of talked about you being a leader that someone gravitates towards. Where did that start for you? Like, what kind of made you want to be like just someone that people can turn to? Is that just something that you're just naturally gifted at, or is it just something you kind of learned over time as you
No, my dad always said I was born as a leader. People just naturally gravitate towards me, even when I was playing up as a fifth grader or playing up with my brother's team, AU, 2 years older. So just like being able to be a leader. Obviously, I watch basketball a lot. That's what I do on my free time, so I know the game pretty well. So I feel like once people know that you know the game, you know what you're talking about, it's kind of easier for them to listen to you, because at the end of the day, they know that you know what you're talking about. But yeah, I've always just been a guy that people gravitate to, just my personality in general. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn or whatever the case may be, but yeah, I feel like people just naturally gravitate to me, and I just naturally just take that leadership role, because somebody has to do it, so why not me?
Who's a team that you watch a lot, or a player you watch a lot of? Is it SGA because he's from Canada? Is it the Raptors? Like, who's somebody that you're really watching right now? You're really impressed by?
It's crazy to say SGA. I do watch a lot of SGA. Just the way he conducts himself on the offensive end, finding ways to get to the free throw line, scoring at all three levels, and just being that leader on offense and defense. That he was obviously the MVP last year, Finals MVP champion. So taking a lot of stuff from his game, and obviously he's from close to where I'm from, so it's just it's a little bit better like that. But also, my favorite player growing up was LeBron James. That's my GOAT. I don't know if anybody's offended by it. That's my greatest. But just him being able to do whatever on the court, whether it's he has to go out there and get 15 assists, or he has to go out there and score 45 points a game. Just being versatile and just thinking the game more than just out there playing the game. So those are the two players. My other favorite player is Kyrie, but that's just a little flash more than actual basketball. But I mean, yeah.
Being from Canada, you mentioned playing up in basketball. Did you ever give hockey a try, or are you a hockey player?
No. I tried skating once when I was probably like 7. It didn't end up well, so I didn't go back to hockey, but basketball got through and through. Yeah.
And what are you hoping to kind of see out for the next month or so in non-conference play before the conference league?
Just for us to go out there and play our brand of basketball. We had a talk before the season. I really like our schedule and how we match up against a lot of the teams left in the non-conference and then obviously in conference play. Obviously, want to go out there and win every game, and I feel like we can with the talent we have in our locker room. When we get fully healthy, we get Connor back. I feel like we have a chance against anybody in the country. So, just going out there playing confident, playing free, being ourselves, and then putting ourselves in a position to win every game possible throughout this next month before we get into conference play.
Throughout the
do you feel like you're getting more and more comfortable running the offense now that we're 5 games into the season in terms of, setting up looks for your guys, but like also getting to your spot and getting into a rhythm offensively and looking to score?
For sure. I had this conversation with Coach Ritter even before the season started. Like, this is my first year where I'm the focal point of the offense for where I get the freedom to just be myself. George Mason, I was a freshman, and I had the opportunity, but I was still a freshman at the end of the day. I had other guys ahead of me, and then last year just taking more of a backseat behind some All-Americans and some NBA players that I got to learn from throughout last year. So this being my first year to where getting a chance to just for it to be me, my show and everything like that, to know when to be aggressive, when not to be aggressive, when to pick my spots and when to get guys their looks. So, I feel like throughout the first 5 games, it's been a learning curve for sure, but just getting more and more comfortable out there, and I feel like it'll only get better as the season goes on.
With that championship experience last year, is there any better feeling than going like that is?
No, it's crazy, man. It's insane. That's the first thing I said to Ritter too when I came on a visit. I got to get back to March, like just the atmosphere. I remember starting the game, like you're looking around, like it doesn't feel real. Like my whole goal for the first possession was just not to dribble it off my foot or something. Like it was crazy, but March is insane. We definitely have to get back, and I feel like the group that we have this year and all the talent, I feel like we can definitely do that in SoCon.
Baraka, Coach mentioned that how in practice he was talking about his perspective as far as y'all's response from the road. But what did you see like in the team's response before you guys played the KU and like even during the game?
We knew we were a better team than that. Even on the bus ride home, we talked about it. We knew we were better than that, and we knew that we had to come out and have that sense of urgency as soon as practice started throughout the week. And I feel like the guys showed it, whether it was on the rebounding, whether it was on the boards, offensive and defensive glass, which you do got to get better defensively on the glass, but also defensively, just getting back to our physicality, playing our brand of basketball. We knew EKU was a team that liked to muck up the game and make it fast and speed things up to where they can get up a lot of threes and score a lot of points. So our biggest thing was, just being ourselves. If we have an open shot, shoot it with confidence and knock it down. But if not, run our offense, and we could get anything we wanted, which we knew we could do that going into the game. So we responded on offense, we responded on defense, and now what Coach talked about earlier today, we got to respond to success. I feel like going into Winthrop, we were feeling ourselves a little bit, everybody congratulating us about how well we played against Tennessee, even though we lost the game, which is, and then we had 2 home wins, and I feel like we were feeling ourselves a little bit too much, and we got humbled when we went to Winthrop. So I feel like us handling success and being able to, we won the game, but now let's go back and let's do it again. Let's kick somebody else's butt. Let's kick somebody else's butt, or let's do it again. So
Okay, anything else for Baraka? All right, thank you, sir. All right, take note of their game is at 4 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, so just make sure you know the tip time. All right, thank you. Appreciate it, guys. 2 o'clock, my bad, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. 4 o'clock is Saturday. I'm getting ahead. Thank you for the correction. 2 o'clock on Wednesday. Coach Michelle Clark-Hurd, we are so glad you're back home. The Road Warriors, 3 consecutive road games, back home tomorrow night, and then back on the road. We're excited you're back home. Come tell us how the season's going the last couple of weeks.
How's everybody doing? All right. No, just really proud of this group. We have been some road warriors, but just proud of this group and the young ladies and how they have every single day just showed up for us and worked to adjust in whatever way that is, as far as, we're scheduled every morning to have morning practices, and so you get off the road late and then we have to adjust and you go on the road again, but just proud of who they are, and kind of like, Ryan said earlier, the non-conference is about growth. This team is growing, we're growing. We've competed and had a lot of great games that had the opportunity to win some and been some close ones. And, then we got on the road. We played a good first half at Georgia Southern. And then what has kept us in these games has been our defense and also been able to put the ball in the hole. Well, we scored 72 points. And so normally when you score 72, you normally win. But we had some letdowns on defense. And what I'm most proud of this group is that we can have honest conversations with them as a staff, and we can go back and look in the mirror and figure out what we got to do. And so I'm excited about us having an opportunity to play again tomorrow, because I think that you all will see definitely a different team. But I'm just proud of who we're becoming. Got a great group of young ladies who every single day they working to be the best version of themselves. And as we talk about, just getting 1% better every single day. So credit to my staff. And, we're just working every day trying to help them be better. We have we got some, and we're here at home, but then we hit the road again. We said this earlier that our schedule is really tough on the road and where we got to go. But I wouldn't want to be with a better group than this group, because I know that they show up every day and they want to represent this university and play as hard as they possibly can every single day. So my job as the leader is, when things don't go right, to figure out how to help them get to the point where we can be better each game. And so that was our focus today, this morning, getting in and talking about the things we needed to do to clean up how we can be better, because we have a great group of young ladies and we got a lot of talent on this team. So with that, I'll open it up with questions.
Coach, I know you talked about practice there a little bit. I know you coached a lot of different places in your career, but is there like an optimal time of day that you feel like practicing? Is it early in the morning? Is it late at night? Is it in the middle of the day? Like, what do you feel like gives you guys the best opportunity, as a coach, the best opportunity to coach your players and get the most out of them?
Yeah, I think it is what it is. We're at a university where this is academics. School comes first, and so I think our girls understand that. I think that the adjustment is understanding and knowing what that is, and as a coach, you just have to be able to adjust, and you get your players to understand what that is and how we have to move forward. So I think every situation I've been in has been different. So I've been in different places where I practiced at, had a window from 1 to 4. But that doesn't, I think it's all about how you prepare your young ladies to be ready for that moment. So we're, I think, grateful that, we have the opportunity and the time for them to get in the morning, and then they have the evenings to be able to do their studying and doing the stuff they have to. But then when we have to adjust, and we adjust to, the spring schedule, we will. So I think at the end of the day, ultimately, it's about the leadership and how you put them in position to help them be successful. At the end of the day, they're student athletes, and we understand that balance.
And then, it's Thanksgiving time for a lot of folks, being here and, playing games, coaching. Are you guys doing something together as a team to celebrate? How are you guys coming together this year? And I guess making the holiday special for not just the year.
Yeah. No, I think every day is Thanksgiving for us, right? Because we're all grateful for everything. I think with this group, we'll be playing. So we play Friday. So we'll travel Thursday. We'll have Thanksgiving dinner and stuff together in the hotels like we do, and just celebrating each other, celebrating life, being grateful to be in this moment, have the opportunity to be able to represent Mercer and be able to do something that you love to do. And I think that's something that we talk about a lot. So, we got a great group of young ladies that understand and know how much we love and care for them. And even though you're not have the opportunity to be with your family, we are family. And we try to make sure that we're giving them that family feel of Thanksgiving in whatever way we can.
I know, you talked about scoring as well, being able to score a lot more points, and it seems like you've also been able to go a lot deeper in your bench this year, which I know last year, especially in the spring, was difficult. How important is that to be able to play a lot of different players, see who's fit, see who's not, and build your roster?
Yeah, it's been a big blessing for us, and we talk about it a lot. Talk about it with the team, and we talk about strength in numbers, right? So I think that's something for us that we want to continue to keep building on, getting people more minutes, getting them in position where we can give a chance to rest Nahawa and Micah and TK, some of the ones that are getting a lot of those minutes, and that's our ultimate goal. But I think every single day, every player has to come in and they have to grow and be in that position to be ready when their number is called. So we talk about that a lot. And at the end of the day, my ultimate goal is to be able to help this great group win. So I want to give people minutes and be able to give them the opportunity. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna put the best players on the floor to put them in a position so we can be successful.
Obviously, Nahawa's been huge for you guys, taking a bunch of shots, getting a lot of looks, being a distributor. But who's another player on this team that you feel like has grown or made the most of the minutes that they're playing?
Yeah. I think in the last 2 games, you can look at Ariana Bennett. Man, she showed up big time for us and in big moments, and it's been really good. But across the board, you know, you have Micah Odell, who's been great with Nahawa. I think it's a good thing for us, and I talked about this earlier in the season. You know, I'm looking forward to, and I think it happened at the Wake Forest game. We had 5 players, all our 5 starters were in double figures, and like when we have that ability to be able to do that, and when we do, I think that gives us an opportunity to be a great team, not only on the offensive end but on the defensive end. And when you have a lot of people that can come off the bench and do a lot of different things, so I think when you ask that question, I think it's the growth of a lot of different people, right? And but we still got a long way to go, and we got to continue to keep growing, and we got to grow in the moment. And I think for me, that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about who we can become and who we are becoming.
And then you talked about the road warriors mindset as well. I'm sure that's hard to be away from home for a while. How do you get your players to just like, I mean, it probably makes no difference if it's home or road, but just how do you get your players to like prepare to travel, like go somewhere where they're not familiar with, to be prepared for all 40 minutes that they play? Just kind of walk me through that.
Yeah, I think it's, again, what we talk about the mindset, right? We have a routine. We try to stick with the routine. We try to make sure we practice here. Then we get on the road. They know. They're players that love routine and what the habit is. So we try to make sure we do those things. Sometimes there's hiccups in those, right? And when there is, I try to make sure that I'm communicating with them so they understand and know that we're good no matter which way we go. So I think playing on the road is always tough to play on someone's home court. That's why they call it home court advantage. But I think it's the mindset of focusing, kind of like Ryan just said, Coach Ritter, it's about who you are as a team. And so we try to make sure we talk about what our group is, who we are and who we're preparing for is great, but let's do it the Mercer way. And the Mercer way is who we are. And that was one of the things that as a head coach, I was a little disappointed in our team. And they know, I told them at the Georgia Southern game, we didn't play the Mercer way in the second half. That's defend, do the things that we need to do. And so I think that's it. And I think for me as a coach, and try to make them feel as light as possible. When we go on the road, it's not about pressure. It's about doing something still that you love to do and have fun doing it. The court's still the same. Everything is still the same. You're just in a different environment. And I think that's something that I've always been very keen on as a head coach, and try to make sure that we put them in that position where they understand that to win and to win big, you have to go on the road and win. So I think that's something that we're trying to make sure that we're in the position to keep building and keep getting them to.
You talked about all the challenges that come with being the road warrior. What do you think are some of the pros of having to go on the road so much so early?
No, I think that's a great question. I think it's going to prepare us for when we hit the conference because, again, ultimately we all know that being able to play on the road and win on the road is something that's really important. I think it's good to put us in that position right now where they know that we're capable of doing it and having those quick turnarounds, and that's what we've had. And so I think it sets apart to put us in that position. Of course, I would love to be at home and playing a lot more games. The schedule prevented that this year because we had to return some games and do a lot of different things. So I think for them, and sometimes it's good that they can get away, and we try to make sure that they're in a situation where, they eat good. We sometimes try to do whatever we can with them, having bonding times and having those moments where we can just make it like us and making it as that family. So when it's time to play, they also understand it's still about us, even though we have to adjust.
Does it kind of give you, I guess, like a camp feel that you're on the road and it's summer's bonding, sharing that's important?
I think that, and Nahawa can probably tell you that. I think we got a great group that has great chemistry. I think they have their moments and their great times. And I think at the end of the day, we want to think that, even though we're their coaches, they still love being around us. And I think at the end of the day, that's what it's about when you really speak about how you grow and how you grow as a team. You grow through the good and the bad, right? Through the adversity, through when things are, I'm not only Coach Hurd for them when they're winning. I'm Coach Hurd when we're not doing or we're struggling, and I think the staff is the same way. And I think that's something that we really try to make sure that we're doing on a daily basis.
Do you think playing on the road so much kind of amplifies that even more when you guys do get a home game? Do you want to defend it even more because you know how hard it is to win?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think definitely we always want to be at home. I feel like we have the support. I feel like that we're going to continue to keep growing this program where these young ladies have that support. And I think that that's the greatest thing is to be able, everybody wants to have home games, and that feeling, you're right. And I think for us, coming off the road and knowing how much we have been on the road is the big excitement to be able to be back at home in front of your home crowd. Knowing and understanding the people that are kind of in the stands and there for you and everything else. So it's just that atmosphere is really different, and it's a great atmosphere.
I guess to almost ask you the same question I asked Coach Reardon, what's one thing you're putting on your Thanksgiving plate this year? Is there anything you go to?
Yeah, like my favorite is dressing. I love stuff and dressing. I say dressing. People say stuff, and dressing is the best for me that I love. And then at the end of the day, I love having the opportunity to spend time with people that you really care about and love, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. The food is great, but it's about being thankful for all the blessings and the people around you and all the things that are going on, especially in the world, and that you have an opportunity to have a great meal with great people. So.
Because we're obviously in just a few weeks in, a few games in. What do you think is the biggest difference from last year's start to right now?
Yeah, I think it's just our players and their belief that we can be really good, and the work that they've put in, that they constantly, every single day, just try to look at it in that way that, we have that opportunity to do a lot of things for them. And so I think the difference is just their mindset. I think that was something for us as a staff. We wanted to make sure that we went out and recruited the right players that was going to fit what we needed to have done. We knew this was going to be a tough challenge. It's tough to turn the whole team around and get great people to go along with the players that you brought in. And I think, take my hat off to the staff. I think we did a great job of bringing in amazing people that had the ability to do different things that we needed to do, put the ball in the hole, not only score, but defend, rebound, be great people. And so I think that's the difference. And I also think going year two, you learn a lot, right? Going into my second year, I learned the difference. We talked about practice times. We talked about all the different things we needed. So for me, just able to evaluate and look at when something's coming up, me knowing now, when we have all these games in a row, how much time do we really need to take off? What do we need to do? What does that look like? And I think it's really helped where we're at right now. We're 3-3 right now. I really feel like, of course, we could be better at this point. Our record could. But I know we're a way better team, and I'm absolutely proud of them and looking forward to watching our growth.
All right, Coach, if you would introduce Nahawa and what she brings to your program.
Yes, Nahawa. I can't say enough about Nahawa. Last year after the season was over and we didn't have such a great season, that was one of the big things that Coach Coach Freeman and I really wanted to make sure that we could convince Nahawa to come back because she's the glue of everything. Just plays so hard. A captain on this team, everybody follows her. She has this amazing personality where she's going to give and give and give no matter what. And I'm just so blessed to be able to be a coach and happy for her that the things we told her are kind of starting to be come to light, meaning we would be better. It's hard for a player to come back, but she's a winner and a competitor, and she wants to have the opportunity to have a winning season and get to a postseason, right? And so I'm happy for her that we are better at this point right now where we were last year, and now we want to continue to keep growing, and she's a big part of that. So come on up.
If you would come up and tell them a little bit about yourself, maybe where you previously played, how you feel the season's going thus far.
So my name is Nahawa Diarra. I'm from Barcelona, Spain, and I'm just so excited for this season. Like last year, I was very disappointed how the season ended up. That's why I chose to come back. I really wanted to have a winning season. I was like, I'm not going home with a loser season. So I'm so excited how my teammates, I understanding that, and how they put a group together that they really wanted. And it just made me excited and see what we have in front of us.
No, it's you kind of mentioned it right there, but just what made you want to stay here at Mercer? You know, so like you said, you didn't want to go home after a losing season, but just what really made you want to stay here and keep it going for your energy?
The first thing is the coaches. I really believe in what they taught me. I really like them, and it's just like family for me. Like, I'm far from home, and they just make it easy for me.
How hard is that to be so far from home, Barcelona and all, playing all the way over here?
I feel like mentally it's hard. Like, sometimes you just want to quit and just go back. But as I said, they just make it easier. I can talk to my parents every day. They just support me, and they there for me every time. So, and I really wanted to do this. So.
And on the court, 4 straight games with over 10 points. You know, what are you seeing differently on the court so far this season compared to last year or even just at the start of the year?
I feel like it's easier. Like, we have more people who we can depend on. Everybody is somebody who can step up. And of course, we have a bench right now. We have people who can just do their jobs. I don't feel like all the pressure is on me, or I have to be the one who have to score or play defense. And I feel like that's a good thing. Sorry.
And then, just being a leader on this team, helping new people come in. I think it was like 9, 10, or 11 people that came in this year. Has that been kind of a challenge for you to just like get to know a lot of new faces, get to know a lot of different people, or just is that something that comes naturally to you?
At the beginning, it was a little bit. I struggled a little bit at the beginning because I came a little bit later than everybody. But it's a thing that is easy. They open up themselves. Since the first day, they were like, "You're welcome here." And it's just like the first practice, I was like, "I love that. I love the energy. I love all these people here." So they just make it easy.
And then being from Barcelona and Catalunya in Spain, what's like your favorite part of that region? It's a really cool part of the country.
That's a tough question. Because we have mountains, we have beaches, so I really like to walk around, see all these people walking around, all these tourists, just sit and look at people, how they walk around. I really like that.
Obviously, you're still here, but what was, I guess, your focus during the offseason? What part of your game did you want to improve and focus on?
Definitely, I wanted to be more like 3-level scorer, try to improve that and have my points, especially that last year they were scouting me a little bit more, and I wanted to work on my finishing and all this stuff, so that was the main thing.
Go ahead, Sasha.
Sorry.
No, you
I
go.
mentioned it earlier, but like you were saying, you had, I guess, a lot of pressure, a lot of eyes on you now. What is it like to have, I guess, so much like more talent and weapons that you guys can spread that out a little bit? Do you feel like you have more freedom to like do Nahawa more?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I feel like since I don't have to be the one with the ball in my hands, other people is contributing in that. It's just more free, and I can just play basketball and have fun.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. Okay, we talked all week. It's Thanksgiving week. Things we're appreciative of. Mercer Athletics, we thank you, members of the media. You're here faithfully on Monday. You give us great coverage. We're thankful for what you do for us. All right, with that said, we'll hope to see you tomorrow night in the arena and back on Wednesday afternoon. We'll be back here for our weekly news conference next Monday. Thank y'all.